This is the Untold Italy travel podcast, and you are listening to episode number 220.
Ciao a tutti and benvenuti to Untold Italy, the travel podcast where you go to the towns and villages, mountains and lakes, hills and coastlines of Bella Italia. Each week, your host, Katy Clarke, takes you on a journey in search of magical landscapes, history, culture, wine, gelato, and of course, a whole lot of pasta. If you're dreaming of Italy and planning future adventures there, you've come to the right place.
Buongiorno. Hi, everyone. Today, I wanted to talk about Italian hospitality and what that means. I truly believe that when most of us book trips to Italy, we are looking to experience more than just a laundry list of sights and attractions. I think many of us travellers want to experience the famous Italian hospitality that we've heard about, a generosity of spirit and friendly people that help you build a connection with what is undoubtedly one of the world's most beautiful countries. Visitors to our countries, Australia, America, Canada and the UK, where most of our listeners come from, probably don't expect the same type of welcome that we dream of in Italy. And that's because our cultures are vastly different and we offer contrasting experiences. So what is this famous Italian hospitality? I thought we could hear about it from someone who really knows what it means to not only experience it, but deliver it day after day to their customers. Today, I'm welcoming my friend Giovanni from Giovanni, Italy, back onto the show to share his thoughts on what I think is one of Italy's most precious resources, the warmth and generosity of the Italian people and their legendary hospitality. Bentornato, Giovanni. Welcome back to the Untold Italy podcast.
Thank you, Katy. It's a pleasure to be here again and another great podcast for your listeners.
Let's hope so. Let's do this. How are things in beautiful southern Italy at the moment?
Beautiful. The weather is getting better and better. People are starting going out on the boats, seeing Capri, the Amalfi Coast, and it's time to eat outside. I have to say, the spring already came and we're enjoying it. We're seeing a lot of tourists too, by the way. Well, we are Easter time now, but...
Yeah, things are getting busier earlier, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, we are quite busy. Even this year seems a country very, very, very requested, Italy. Yeah? Thanks God.
Well, I think the weather has been, fairly warm, really, and people are kind of a bit worried about the heat, maybe in the height of summer. So I think you might not be able to have a rest next year. I think it'll just keep going.
Yeah. No, the weather is getting well, not really hot, but to be honest, it's a pleasure. When the weather is like that, especially in the springtime. Obviously, in August it's hot anyhow, but summer is summer.
Exactly. So now we've had many new listeners join us since you were last on the show. Would you please introduce yourself and let everyone know about your company and your background and why you love helping people enjoy your part of Italy?
Sure, let's introduce myself. By the way, thank you again for having me. As you know, I'm Giovanni and I'm the owner of Giovanni Italy, which I founded together with my brother, Paolo. He also did a few podcasts with you. We are in the tourism industry since 1998, and I started my own business. I created Giovanni Limos in 2009, so it's about 15 years now. And as you already know, because you know what we do very well, we love this job. We actually do it. Obviously, we do it for money, but we do it with passion. We love to welcome, our guests. And when we welcome them as a guest, then we say bye-bye as a friend, because they have to become friends. When somebody comes, the hospitality we want to show them, like you meet a friend at your home and you welcome in your home and we take them around. We take them to a restaurant which we like to go. We take them to a beach which we like to go. We take care of them actually soon they step into Italy until the day they go.
And how do you do that? What sort of things do you do? How do you help tourists?
Well, we started 15 years ago as a limo company. So thanks God we both speak English fluent and we lived outside. I go to visit the United States every year. I made, friends there, travel agents. We started as a limo company. I mean, I used to pick them up at the airport to take them around to visit Rome, to visit Pompeii, to visit, the Amalfi Coast. Then slowly, we open a travel agency as we love this, where we actually sell everything in terms of tourism. So you don't have to worry about booking your hotel, booking your vehicle or your boat or your tickets, your guides. We'll take care of everything. And every year by year, we try to do those little add-ons, to go out a little bit of the mass tourism. You know that very well. It is beautiful when you show something to the people which is a little bit out of the beaten path, as we usually say. For example, now it's very, very popular, the mozzarella making, and we do a lot of tours taking them to a very small mozzarella cheese factory, having your clients, which in the meantime became friends, putting their hands in the mozzarella dough, making the mozzarella, making the little balls. We love seeing them doing the pizza themselves and have them eating their own pizza they made with their hands. The same thing is with pasta. These little experiences make us different than the others. If I have to be honest with you, in terms of money, you do make money, but I would make more money having people taking them on the regular Amalfi Coast loop, instead of taking them to the mozzarella. But as we love this, I like showing them what tourists don't see. So, and it's quite nice, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's lovely. And what I've always appreciated about you and your company is the care that you take to ensure every customer has a wonderful experience, whether they're joining like a full private tour of Italy or a special boat tour along the Amalfi Coast, or even simply taking a transfer from Naples to Positano. What is driving you to give people this special experience? Why do you treat customers the way that you do? Do you have a philosophy?
As I travel a lot, I really want to be welcomed as I welcome people when they come here. I mean, if you pick up a guest, for example, from Rome and take him to Positano, and you just go straight without, the classical limo service, without even talking to them, like a business transfer. We don't do that. We like to chat each other. We like to stop on the way, take wonderful pictures. The landscapes of Italy, they're beautiful wherever you go. From Lake Como down to Sicily, wherever you drive, is really beautiful. For example, yesterday I was talking to a guest. They're from New Jersey, and there are 14 of them. They say, Giovanni, we want to visit Como, Venice, Florence, Cinque Terre, and then we want to go to Sicily. I say, what? Italy is quite, it's about from north to Sicily, it's about 1,000 miles. And I said, well, it's possible if you have about 15 days. And then the last stop before heading to Sicily was Sorrento. So they're going to spend about 4 nights in Sorrento, and in the meantime, having, the boat tour, the Amalfi Coast, the famous gastronomic tour we do. And then they say, Giovanni, we want to go to Sicily, but we don't want to drive there. And I said, you are going to Sicily by plane. So you need 1.5 hours from Sorrento to the airport. then unload the luggage, upload the luggage, then carry the luggage in the airport, and then be there 2 hours early, then get to Catania airport and get a transfer. You're going to spend about 7 hours. In 6.5 hours, we drive there in a luxury, comfortable vehicle, Mercedes. We have, this new Mercedes Sprinter, very, very comfortable, Katy, to be honest. Like a first class of the plane, like a business class of the plane. And I say, in 6.5 hours, you don't drive through the desert. You drive on the coast, you enjoy the panorama. And I send them a few pictures, of the way they go. And they say, well, it's done. Let's go by car. So, and that's what we do with the transfers. When we pick someone up, for example, from Naples to Positano, we stop on the way, let them take a picture. There is this granita spot, the lemon ice on the way. We buy them a granita whenever we can, obviously, whenever the schedule, permits that. But people already, they feel like a friend because you talk how many days you spend in Italy, what you are going to visit, where you're going to see. You suggest them some restaurants to have dinner, for example, in Positano or Sorrento or the Amalfi Coast anyway. So it is the first impact that you already became a friend with someone, even if you never met them before,
It's true. I've had that granita. It's very, very good.
That one is good. That one, it's
and
incredible.
I've also had the gelato from Paolo's favorite gelato shop. And that was pretty special too.
Yeah, that's another thing, by the way. Most of the people, they have gelato in Florence, in Rome, in the main city where millions of tourists goes. And when we do the gastronomic too, like we do the mozzarella, the pizza, the olive oil, all these things, we love to take them in a famous gelateria, which no tourist goes, only locals goes. And it's always full, by the way. And we take them there. You can explore all this fresh flavor because when they make the hazelnut ice cream, they don't make it with the concentrated or the flavor, or they make it with fresh hazelnut ice cream. So it is a little bit different. You can tell. Obviously, you have a gelato in the middle of the tie. I don't want to say it's not good. It is still good, but where millions of tourists goes, it is a little bit more industrial, to be honest. But this is what we like to let them do. They actually expect, that many tourists, when they come to Italy, the hospitality, we have actually raised up within the hospitality. When someone rings at your door, you let them come in, you make the famous espresso, you give them a cookie, and we raised up with hospitality in our, even if we do this as a, let's say, business, but we have it in our blood. And many people, especially, from America, from Australia, even from Europe, to be honest with you, even if they are close to us, they expect the hospitality. Sometimes they are really impressed because they do not expect the driver to buy them a granita on the way of a transfer, and they say, where I am.
Yeah. It's so true. I think that people really do have that expectation when they come to Italy. They think that they want to have a warmer, more connected experience with the people. It's not just about taking photos, it's about having a conversation and learning a bit more about people. And I think that's a really beautiful thing for tourism in general, actually. Not just in Italy, but all around the world. I think if everyone gave a little bit more hospitality, I think, the world might be a friendlier place.
Yes. Let's say that Italy is a little bit different, to be honest. I travel a lot, and it is in the people, habits, to give hospitality. I don't want to say everyone is like that. I don't want to generalize, but unless people doing my business with a little bit of passion, you do give, the hospitality that clients deserves. First of all, the flexibility. This is another way to give hospitality to the people. The flexibility. For example, I was on a strike in Rome 2 days ago because, this rent-a-car in Italy. Italy is a beautiful country, you know better than me. But, the politicians, some things, they don't really work well. The bureaucracy, let's say. And so we were on a strike, and I had clients, they came to Sorrento, and they actually lost the luggage at the airport. I said to them, listen, I'm going to the airport. I'm going to Rome for a strike. I'll come and I pick up the luggage for you, and I'll bring the luggage to your hotel. How much I owe you? You don't have to owe me anything because I'm in Rome for a strike. But that is a part of hospitality. Obviously, if I have nobody in Rome and I have to send a vehicle, I get charged. But if was another one beside me, say, okay, I'll send you a car, give me $500 to get the lot, to be, just an example. But as you have it inside, sometimes, it comes naturally. We don't work on it, it is all natural, to be honest with you. It's that part of flexibility that you have inside. For example, we have been together. For example, the lemon tour. You remember the lemon tour we had a few years ago? We had a lemon tour at that place. They didn't even know what tourists are. But the people were welcoming, the hospitality. You remember they made the coffee, they made this, because sometimes, it's in the blood of the people, I always say.
Well, I have to say, though, on that day, I ate the best lasagna I've ever had in my life. And I'd never experienced any lasagna before or after that lasagna. And I still talk about it because they made it with the smoked mozzarella and the lemon rind. Oh, mamma mia. So good.
That was good.
It was so good.
Don't make me angry.
I think it's just so critical for people to know that you probably don't get this all the time, but I do really appreciate that you would do that for a friend. You would bring their luggage, right? From Rome
Right.
if you were in the area. And it's those little things I think that really make all the difference, because no one's expecting that, because certainly that would not happen maybe in our country. No, definitely not. But, it does happen in Italy, and it's part of the, like you said, the blood or the DNA. I think it's really a lovely thing.
Beside this, regarding the lives, we are expanding. Thanks God, we have about 10 vehicles. We have drivers, which we train one by one. And I said to a driver last time, I said, okay, now tomorrow you have to transfer, pick people up in Sorrento, take them to the station. And he said, okay, Giovanni, do I drop them off outside? I say, no. You go in the parking. I say, why? We go in the parking. We pay the parking. Yes, you pay the parking. You have a machine and you have people taking the luggage inside the station. Show them the display where all the trains are marked. Show them the track number. And then you say bye-bye. It is important doing this. It's because you want to be treated like that if you go in a foreigner's country, So I don't want someone that kicks me out of the car outside the station. I don't like this. So go in the parking, walk with them inside the station. If you are in a rush, you have another service schedule, maybe in the best way you can, you tell them, guys, I'm going to drop you right here, walk inside there, you point them out where they have to walk, and that's it. But when you have time, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and Paolo, we train, the drivers, even the guides. Paolo about 10 years ago became a professional licensed guide. So he takes people to Pompeii, to Capri, to Herculaneum, and he has a lot of guides working for him. And he trained himself, the guides, very well. But not train, I don't want to say he trained the guide to explain them what an archaeological site is. We train them how to treat the clients. even me, to the drivers, I don't train them to drive the car because they already know how to drive the car. They do speak English, but I train them how to treat the clients, how the clients are happy, and beside this, how can you make more money? Because if you help a client, if you are a friend, the client will tip you at the end of the day. And it's important. You work for that, but it has to come from your passion. Obviously, there are, many people, they miss out this experience, not with us, because, the mass tourism, better than me, it's all around. And this is what makes us different. We are flexible, we customize the itinerary, and we try to make clients' wishes and clients' dreams comes true always. For example, just an example of today, I have two drivers with 13 people from Sorrento. They're going, they're supposed to do the Path of Gods. Yesterday we had some rain, and Path of Gods, it's a beautiful path that goes along the Amalfi Coast, and it's spectacular, and I suggest that to everyone. When rains, it's not recommended. In my opinion, it's not good to go because it's a path and it's even a little bit dangerous. So you have to be careful, you have to walk. So these clients call, they say, oh, the forecast saying tomorrow is going to rain, what they're going to do. So I changed all the schedule and I welcome there. I supposed to pick them up in Sorrento and take them to the Path of Gods. So I switched all the vehicles and I give them two vehicles and they're enjoying the Amalfi Coast. Plus they're going to an olive oil mill because one of them wanted to see how the olive oil is made. And so we welcome that. That's the difference between the mass. When you buy, for example, an Amalfi Coast tour on a mass tourist website, right? It's that one. You are together with 20 other people. You want to change, you can't change. While with us, we have that little flexibility. We try to welcome everybody. I could definitely say to the client, listen, I don't have the vehicles tomorrow. I take you to the Path of Gods, even if it rains, I don't care. But you would never do that because you do your best to welcome them, to accommodate their wishes and try to make them enjoy. They're spending money on vacation, This is something we always say.
Yeah, it's so true. Like there's so many times when you are disappointed because you've booked something thinking it was going to be quick and easy, and then something's happened and you maybe need to cancel it or change plans, and then you've got nothing to fall back on because you are part of a bit of a machine. And because there are so many people going to Sorrento and the Amalfi Coast now, like it can be more difficult to have a special experience, I think. So I can only tell people what I experienced, and I wanted to tell this one story about Paolo. Paolo wanted my family to try some tuna that someone had made, and he forgot to bring the tuna on the last day that we had with him. So then he dropped it off at a bakery near the airport, and he also bought us some pastries. But I mean, he made it so easy for us to go and pick it all up, and then it was such a surprise. I mean, maybe it was a little thing to him. I don't think it was because he had to drive a long way, but it was very special to us. And I think those little touches can really make a big difference. And like that was, well, I don't know, it was a few years ago now, and I can still remember, those experiences. And my kids know Paolo and his ability to eat pizza, and it's that's his claim to fame. So I think, definitely we experienced Italian hospitality with your family and your team. It was really very special, and I really hope other people get to experience it because I have a lot of experiences in Italy, as you know. I'm there quite often, and I don't remember all of them, so I remember a lot about yours.
Even with the boats, for example, no, when you do a Capri boat tour, it is nice to enjoy the boat. Well, for example, we decided a few years ago to don't do sharings on the boat. I know we could definitely make more money because people doesn't want to spend too much money. But do you really think you go with 12 other people unfamiliar, which you don't know, and the itinerary is fixed and you have to drop off in Capri 3 hours? Well, I don't want to drop off. You have to because it's a fixed itinerary. When you start doing, sharings and fixed itinerary, you are not able to give that hospitality you have been given in the past. And so we decided to give private boat tours to Capri, but with flexibility. 3 days ago, a family booked a Capri tour on a boat on a 38 feet, the famous Gozzo boat in Sorrento. They booked this tour. They're supposed to go to Capri. At a certain point, the skipper was talking with the husband of this client and said, "What about Positano and Nerano? Are those little places on the Amalfi Coast?" And the skipper said, "Well, we can definitely switch. You don't want to go to Capri, we go to the Amalfi Coast. There is no extra cost. The day is 8 hours. We are going to enjoy." So they completely switched the day. And in the office, we didn't even know that. So when one of my assistants called these guys for the courtesy call, so Maria, one of my assistants, said, "How was your day in Capri? Did you enjoy on the boat? How's it going?" "Oh, we actually switched. We are on the Amalfi Coast. We are not." Can you imagine how works, the flexibility and the hospitality? You could never do that if you do a sharing tour. You booked for a Capri tour, you have to go to Capri. There's nothing to do. So, and this is what makes us a little bit different than the others.
Yeah, I think that's so true. So I didn't prep you this question, but I do have a question. Have you experienced something like that hospitality somewhere else in the world? Or is this something you think is quite uniquely Italian?
I traveled a lot, I have to say. I've never been to Australia. I have to go, it's my bucket list. But I did all the United States. I did about 30 states in the United States. I did the entire Europe. And I have to be honest with you. We have something different. I don't want to say, the hospitality is nice wherever you go, whenever you pay, better than me. You get, but it's a different culture, it's a different culture. So obviously you cannot expect. I had clients, I took them to my home. You cannot expect a driver in the United States or in Australia that he takes you to his home for a lunch. I took clients to my home because they became a friend, especially when they laugh with you, they enjoy the day with you, they appreciate. That's the most important thing, by the way. When you explain them things, even on a 1 hour transfer ride from Naples to Sorrento, you drive by Pompeii, Herculaneum, you go through Naples, which is the third largest city of Italy. It's older than Rome, by the way. And you tell them, well, this is Naples, this is Pompeii, that's Capri in the distance, because the view is fantastic when you have a transfer on the car from Naples to Sorrento in the Amalfi Coast. When you see that people are appreciating what you are telling them, because they were not expecting a driver explaining, a few things, that is the click that steps from guest friend, from guest to a friend. And that when you see people that they appreciate what you are telling them, what you are explaining them, then you understand, okay, these people are my friends. And I have to say 99, it seems high, this percentage, but 99% of the clients, they act in this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, now with this package, we are, the Italian packages are going on fire. Thanks God, even this year. We have a tour. We have a tour of Italy, for example, which is 12 days, right? We actually call it the Earth of Italy. It's 12 days, includes basically everything, right? It costs about 7,000 per person if you are 2 people. If you are 4 people, it costs you about 5,500. 4 or 5 star hotels. A driver which he acts as a host because he's with you for the entire day. Tickets, guides, boat tour, all these things, and then you take care of them as soon as they step into Italy. This is the difference, even with the big tour operator we were talking about before. You pay this amount of money if you go on a big bus with big group tour, and you cannot say to the driver, stop here or stop there, or I want to take a picture of that. No, it is all fixed. So what we did, we create this little package, which are very reasonable, in my opinion, because they include almost everything, and everybody can have access to those, and they are treated like VIP. That makes even the difference, between the mass tourism, and that is where you really appreciate the hospitality. You know, for example, I really wish to have something similar when I go in the foreigner's country. Someone that takes care of you from the moment that you step at the airport, picks you up, takes you to the hotel. You don't have to worry about to carry the luggage. You don't have to worry about to book your hotel, organize the planning, the tickets. You know better than me what tickets are in Italy, eh? Colosseum tickets. We want to talking about that war we do to buy the tickets, the Vatican tickets, and all the rest. So we already have tickets in our hands. We buy tickets for them. The guide is all there with them. A local professional licensed guide is something important for every person that comes, especially in Italy, and especially in Rome, in Florence. You need a guide. You need a guide that shows you around. There are too many things to see, too many things to do, and it's quite, in my opinion, important.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was chuckling to myself because I used to travel very much independently and try and do everything myself. And, I had my special badge that I did this all myself. But as I get more experience, goodness me, I do appreciate being looked after actually, especially when I'm on vacation because I don't really want to feel like that I'm working or, like I do just want to relax and have everything taken care of for me, which would shock my younger self, to be quite honest with you, because I was so independent and all of that. But I think if you haven't tried that style of travel, I really encourage you to do it because it's really a different experience, and I don't think you miss out on any experiences like locally. I think you will actually find that you experience more because, like Giovanni said, you can make a relationship with your driver. We've had some amazing stories where drivers have taken them to meet the family farm in Puglia because guests wanted to hug an olive tree, and that's the type
Mm.
of thing that you can do, right? It's a very different style of travel, but if you haven't tried it, you definitely should. Now, Giovanni, I really believe that experiencing true Italian hospitality, like you've described, is very important to our listeners. And I know that they would like to stay in touch with you and experience it for themselves. So, how can they do that? How can they reach you?
Oh, they can easily find us. You just Google Joe Banana. You can Google Joe Banana, you will find us. Joe Banana Tours in Italy. We have a website, we have a live chat. We have about 6 people in our office, helping people. By the way, the private package tours, they have a 24/7 assistance because they have their own phone. We do the shift for the girls in the office, and it's really important. So they can send us an email. Most of the single service, Katy, are actually purchasable on the website directly. For example, single transfers, single tour, the Amalfi Coast, the gastronomic, the one we're talking about, they can go on the website, joebananalimos.com, and they can buy and check the availability right there. Obviously, if they have questions, they are very welcome to get in touch with us. We are here to help. That's what we do from about 20 years. And while for the package, it is always better to have a call. We have a toll-free number for United States and Canada. They can call us for free and talk with someone in the office and have some suggestion and help, planning the trip. You know better than me that planning a trip, it's not that easy. Yeah? It's not that easy, to be honest.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. And everyone, really, the Joe Banana team is just wonderful. Just such a great bunch of people that really just want to help you plan an amazing trip to Italy. So grazie mille, Giovanni. Thank you for joining us on Untold Italy today. And I'm very glad we're friends.
I'm very glad you invited me again. Thank you for having me, on your podcast. And thank you to all the listeners that are listening us. And guys, welcome to Italy. Ciao, ciao.
Benvenuti. Ciao, ciao. So what do you think, listeners? Have you experienced this Italian hospitality and friendliness for yourself? Are you looking forward to having that experience when you go to Italy? Speaking for myself, it's what we as a family look forward to the most on our trips to Italy, and we do end up returning to the places where we best experience it again and again. And what really astonishes me the most is that these places, the experience is not only welcoming and kind, no matter the time of year, whether the team is super busy or if they have staffing challenges. You can never tell because these companies and services, just like Giovanni's team, take great pride in their culture and how their guests enjoy it. If you would like to know how you can experience Southern Italian hospitality with Joe Banana Italy, then head on over to our website where you'll find the show notes at untolditaly.com/220 for episode 220, where you'll find all the details of how you can get in touch with Giovanni's team. Grazie mille. Thank you for your ongoing support of Untold Italy. We truly appreciate all our listeners, well over 100,000 of you each month joining us from around the world. We'd love it if you help spread the word so we can reach more Italy-loving travellers. And the best way that you can do this is by leaving us a 5-star rating or review on your favourite podcast app. That's all we have from Italy today. Next week, we're taking a trip to Sicily to hear all about one of its famous wines. But until then, it's ciao for now.
The Untold Italy podcast is an independent production. Podcast editing, audio production and website development by Mark Hatter, production assistance and content writing by the other Katy Clarke. Yes, there are 2 of us. For more information about Untold Italy, please visit untolditaly.com.